Hey everyone, and thank you for tuning in to my SoundPaint podcast. SoundPaint was a concept I created about 10 years ago with the goal to be rooted in a safe community for musicians seeking music education from an angle of just wanting to explore and enjoy music and sound and grow together in their skill and ability. I also feel very strongly about the connection between art and music. It is my love and passion to read different physics studies and explore the correlation between sound waves and light waves. Light waves, which, when broken down, are basically the colors that we see. I love the idea of approaching writing music with color in mind. That is a huge source of my inspiration when I play. With that in mind, I think you get the reason why I call this project SoundPaint. As we go along, I'll be describing what I'm doing as much as possible for everyone listening in without the video. If you are interested in seeing what I'm doing, as well as listening, you can catch me on YouTube. The link for this episode will be listed below. Or if you yourself are interested in learning music and want to check out any of my music courses online, you can find my website at www.soundpaintacademy.com. I'm always adding new courses, and I'm always open to hearing new ideas for courses that you might like to try out. Normally, I'm working in Ableton Live 11. Not so much today. I'm going to be honest, it's been a day. So technology has failed me in every direction today. I had a completely different idea in mind. I bought this plugin for like $15 and it was going to go right into Analog Lab 4. And it was like I hit one brick wall after another with it. I had to like email them and be like, why isn't this doing what it should do? And I've done this many times, so like I know what I'm doing. So it's frustrating. So anyways, I decided to go in a completely different direction, and I am today working with a plugin called MkII. So if you are interested in seeing what I am doing in the plugin MkII, then check out my YouTube channel. Most weeks I have things a little bit more together, and fingers crossed for today. So you can find my YouTube channel in the listing below. So for today, we're going to play with something called modular synthesis. Now, this is a topic that I just like go crazy over, and it's been my new obsession for the past. It's like one of those things where it's been my obsession for a very, very, very long time, but I didn't know what it was exactly called. I would just be like, yeah, it's like synthesizers, but it's like more specific than that. And I know it when I hear it, like I know what, it's something called a Moog. So the guy who pretty much invented this, his name was Bob or Robert Moog. And it's a wild type of manipulation of sound to make it as simple as possible. It was really the beginning of synthesis and synthesizers. And what you do is you take those sound waves that we've been talking about and you manipulate them with knobs. It's really like when we say analog synthesis, it's like such a true form because you actually put your hands on these knobs. You're actually turning them. You're actually taking a sound wave and manipulating it with, all bouts of creativity and curiosity. Like, what do I do if I turn this like that? And it's so wild and it's so cool. For something that I am so drawn to, I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I only got my hands on one. I think it was about 8 months ago. I was in a Sam Ash and they had one, and it was the first time I had ever seen one in person. And it was just like incredible. Like when I play with these things, it's just like, I just start laughing. Like I am just obsessed. Like it's so much fun, and I'm totally nerding out right now, but that's okay. So I don't have a Moog, but it is my dream to get, I think I've narrowed it down. I think I figured out I want, it's called the DFAM, and it stands for Drummer from Another Mother. And it's just like incredible. And I'm obsessed with this thing. So, all right, let me like reel myself in. So modular synthesis, you have something called patch cables. And you can, in addition to all those knobs that I was just talking about, you have these cables that you patch. And for those of you who can't see what I'm doing, I have this synthesizer, this modular synthesizer on my laptop. And it doesn't have a sense of authenticity, I gotta say, because like I'm going to use like my left click and I'm gonna like pull things where I want them and explore it that way. But it doesn't have that like hands-on kind of feel. And that's why it is my goal to get this DFAM, this drummer from another mother. And it's like a physical box. It's not like a plug-in on my computer. It's a physical box, has physical knobs. Okay, I'm gonna kind of use another confusing way of describing it, but it might make a little bit more sense. So when I'm working on any of my websites, there is something called automations where one action on the front end triggers another action. Like, for example, if you were to sign up for my newsletter, then on the back end, I have it set up so that you would be prompted to be taken to, say, my free workbook, which I actually am offering right now. And all of that is set up as an automation. So you use automations every day, even though you may not be aware of it, you may not have set it up, but you go on the computer all the time and you press things, you make commands, and one action causes another response. So anyways, with these patch cables, now I have no patch cables that you can see for those of you who can see what I'm doing on the screen. I am instead pressing these different ports. I can shut those off now. Okay, so it kind of says like, if you want this, then it's gonna be diverted to that. And I'm gonna actually leave those alone right now. Okay, so we're gonna play around with, you already know what an oscillator is. So we're going to play around with the filter of this oscillator. And I have kind of like this cool sequencer playing. So I have the keyboard set to sequence those notes. Now, we're just gonna have fun. We're just gonna play with this. I'm gonna change the frequency. Oh yeah. So I'm still holding the same note, but I changed the frequency, which changes everything. Now, right here we have low pass, which I'm gonna actually, now I may just hold this A for like the whole time. It'll get interesting because I'm turning knobs. So this low pass, you notice things, it sounds lower all of a sudden. Like it's the same note, I haven't changed anything. I'm gonna turn it back up. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. So that was letting the highest amount of overtones and frequencies through, which I don't like. I apologize. I'm gonna turn it down because I like a low pass. This kind of like increases the this increases the intensity. Oh, this is a ring modulator. Now, what's that do? I don't know if you can hear that. There's really no drum that's happening, but the percussiveness of what's being played, the overtones that I just pulled out with this ring modulator, it kind of like creates like a hi-hat, like can't really, I'm not good at doing that vocally. Now we have like kind of like a drum. Yeah. I'm gonna turn the volume up a little bit. Just let that play. All right, now. I'm gonna turn the attack up. Ooh, I like that. So what I just did was I turned up the reverb in the mix. And what that did is, reverb, you can really think about it kind of like echo. And what it does is it like gives you almost like an illusion that the space where this sound is happening is now a much bigger space, because you hear the sound like bouncing off the wall further away. And that's like such a powerful tool in creating sound, because now I just created depth. I didn't just create sound. It now has like a presence and a resonance. I shouldn't really use the same word to explain the same word, but there we are. I'm gonna put it back down. I liked it where it was. I like that right there. Don't go nowhere. All right, now we're gonna add a little bit of noise. Just as I suspected. With synthesizers, many times sounds like say, like a hi-hat. Say that hi-hat sound, that's not being created necessarily from, I'm gonna stop it for just a second. That's not being created necessarily from the oscillator itself. It's being created by the noise, like that noise. When compressed for just like in moments, it sounds like a hi-hat, like a cymbal, like a snare drum, like that. That is all produced by noise. So what I just did was I turned down the noise, and now that noise is gone. Like it's there, it's soft, but it's there. I'm gonna turn it up. Now, not only can you hear it again, but you can hear a little more going on with it. There's like extra like little hits. Okay, now I'm gonna play with the output. I'm gonna play with the output. Envelope. I'm gonna click this here. Whoa. That is amazing. We just made a monster, ladies and gentlemen. Nope, don't like that. So this is, I did a little bit more with that ring modulator, but I routed it from, like I said, I'm not an expert at this stuff, but I really want to be. I think what I did was I routed the ring modulator out the output of channel 1, I think. I think it's like, actually, I could be wrong. I really could. I think what I did was like, I reversed the direction of how the sound was coming out. So I think what was happening before was everything was flowing from left to right. Like everything was moving from the oscillators to the filters, and then the ring modulator was one of the last things on the tail end that was being added on as we were playing, but then I reversed it so that the ring modulator was kind of like initiating the sound and everything was getting pushed through that. I really think. It's like crunchy. It's like crunchy and gritty with like a little high like tweeting. I like that. I think I'm gonna stick with that. You know what, the only problem with that is that it's like such a massive amount of sound. It doesn't want to, like if I try to change key, it doesn't want to maneuver quickly and it's a little bit clunky. So I'll just hold this note out. I like this sound. I could do so much more if I actually had my hands on it though, you know, because I don't know. I'm like a very like tactile, like hands-on type person. So like clicking it and like dragging it on a screen, it just doesn't have the same effect for me. So somebody get me a Moog DFAM, please. I don't know, maybe a birthday present, maybe. I was thinking of actually starting like for those of you, and one of our listeners actually suggested this. So thank you, Steve. I started a Twitch account. And it's my goal to just make sounds and noises and music occasionally on Twitch. And I think that playing with a Moog DFAM would be like super cool. Anyways, that wraps it up for today. In the end, I think I got a handle on technology again, and it didn't claim my entire day. So I apologize if today was a little bit off, but we made something cool regardless. And I don't know, this was fun. I might keep playing with this. Thank you so much for listening. And if you liked what you heard and want to hear where we go next week, hopefully it'll be a better technology day for me, then please follow me. You can also follow me, again, if you click the link below for my YouTube channel. I put these out every Saturday. Thanks again and have a great weekend. Bye.